Usually, there is phones that um, can cost more than $1,000.
Yes, I think iPhones, well, phones are also very expensive. Um, but let's see. Oh, someone's
But yeah, usually computer um,
are more
use
expensive.
use be more use more expensive than a phone.
Yes, I agree. I bought a computer 2 years ago, and it was definitely more expensive than a phone. David, what do you think? Have you ever bought a phone that costs more than $1,000 or something?
In my opinion, the iPhone is more expensive than a computer because in my case, I have a HP, a
Mm-hmm.
computer HP, and it was um, it it was much uh, $300, and an iPhone maybe is $1,000 or more
Mm-hmm.
or
Yes, I think
plus.
it depends on the features of the computer and the phone. Yes,
Yes, it depends on the
on the brand
how
too.
do you say marca
The brand. Mm-hmm.
brand, yes.
Yes. Hello, Jorge, Irving. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you? How's your morning?
Very good. And you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, so I was asking your classmates, which one of these items do you think is more expensive? A phone or a computer? What do you think?
For me, it's more expensive the computer because it's for the technology. For example, the make is Apple or Samsung and different components. For example, the SSD
Mm,
is more expensive. Um, I don't know the microprocessor. I don't
mm-hmm,
know, and yeah, it's for me it's more expensive the computer
mm-hmm.
than the phone.
Have you ever bought a computer?
Repeat the question, please.
Have you ever bought a computer?
Yes, yes. For me, it's essential in work because
Mm.
it's the technologies. Yeah, I use the computer every day, so for me, I will a new I will buy a new computer.
I see. Yes, I mean, computer is very necessary at this point in life, so I agree. But yeah, for me too, I think a computer is more expensive than a phone, but like David said, I'm sorry, um, it depends on the brand, on the features. So, um, yes, good. Thanks for participating, guys. Let's see. So, which one of these do you think is more delicious, a pizza or a hamburger? Do you have any
Uh,
preference?
yes, I prefer the hamburger.
Oh,
Me too.
good. And is there any restaurant or a specific type of hamburger that you guys like?
No, in my case, Mike's Burger.
I haven't tried that. Is it good? I mean, would you recommend it?
Yes, but it's a big burger, only for
Uh-huh.
$5.
Really? $5. Where is it?
Yes,
Where is that
and the
located?
flavor is very good. It's
Mike's
delicious.
Burger?
Mike's Burger, yes, in Chilchupan.
Yes.
You guys know that. I don't know. I don't know the place. All right. What about you, Edwin? Is there any restaurant that you like? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Wendy's. I love
Wendy.
the hamburger. Uh, they are delicious, are more delicious, and so different the potatoes, all the preparation are delicious old hamburger for me.
I agree. I feel like Wendy's has more a more has more variety than another restaurant like McDonald's or something like that. So yes, for me, although both are good, pizza is more delicious than hamburger. But all right,
I am Wendy's team too.
really, I mean their potatoes are their French fries are really good as well. Okay, let's continue. Who do you think is more beautiful, Shakira or Selena Gomez?
Selena Gomez.
But
Did you guys grow up watching her on Disney? Did you watch her shows while growing up?
I grew up. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, makes sense. Yes. But which one, who do you think is more beautiful?
In my opinion, is more beautiful Shakira.
Okay. Do you like her music by any chance?
Yes, that is my motive.
Yes. For me personally, I think the first album I think is the best. Do you guys like her music, Raquel, Jorge, and Irvin?
yes, I like music of Shakira, but
Mhm.
Selena Gomez only um,
An
Um,
actress.
some songs only.
mhm.
Ah,
Mm. Yeah, for me, I think Shakira doesn't is not making good music at the moment. So Selena Gomez has better music than Shakira. What do you think, Irvin?
That's true.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that Selena Gomez is more beautiful because I I watched old series with Selena Gomez, the
Mm.
movies, her son. So for me, is beautiful and all. I don't know. Is
Mm-hmm.
yeah. For me, the voice is beautiful. She's beautiful. So for me, Shakira, I don't know. I don't know because he's
It,
old. I don't know.
Mm.
because it's old.
All right. So I guess Selena Gomez fits your standards as well. All right. Okay. And are you familiar with these actors, guys? Who do you think is a better actor, Will Smith or Tom Cruise? Mm, Raquel,
For
Irvin?
me,
Mhm.
maybe Tom Cruise because I love old movies. For example, my favorite movie is The Mummy, the new movie, The Mummy.
Mm,
I love the movie, but Will Smith for me, and special the series, the the Prince, the Fresh Prince Rap of Bel Air.
mhm.
I don't know.
Fresh
It's
Prince of
good
Bel-Air.
series, but Tom Cruise for me is uh,
A better actor.
a better actor.
It makes sense. I feel like Tom Cruise has been in the business for a lot more time than Will Smith. What about you, Raquel and David and Jorge? Maybe.
Yes, I think Will Smith is better actor because
Mhm.
he is multifaceted.
Oh, yes, multifaceted. Mhm. Yes, I agree. I feel like Tom Cruise has um is currently in a very strong comfort zone. Will Smith is more willing to risk the image of an actor and goes for another type of roles. What about you, David? Uh, is there Do you like these actors?
Yes, in my opinion, is better Will Smith
Than Tom Cruise, I see.
because his action. How do you say actuación?
Acting.
Acting.
Mhm.
Okay, with his acting in that movie, uh, En busca de la felicidad, searching of
Mm.
the
Pursuit of Happiness, I feel is the translation.
sorry, how do you say?
The Pursuit of Happiness. I feel like that's the. I think that's the translation. Pursuit of
Okay.
Happiness. Mhm.
Yes, that movie was the better movie what I watched.
Yes, I agree. That's a classic at this point, I think.
Yes, it's a
Mhm.
classic.
And the last thing, I don't know if you remember school or if you blacked out that moment in your life, but which one do you think is more difficult, math or physical education? What do you think, guys?
It's more difficult math because use all your brain and with different problems, create formulas, and maybe I don't know. For me, it's more difficult, but
Yes. I feel like it depends. It depends. For me, it was physical education was more difficult than math. But math was always difficult. It's, I guess, a different type of uh, a struggle. What do you think, Raquel? Did you have issues with math or physical education?
Yeah, me too. I think it depends
Mhm.
because um, but requires different type of an effort. So mm, I
It
don't know.
depends.
It depends.
Yes, I agree. What do you think, David?
My opinion is it's more difficult math, but the
Mm,
math of the
mhm,
university
mhm.
because we must to integrate three. How do you say triple integra?
Triple integrate.
Triple integrate.
Mhm.
In that moment, I didn't know what I I must do.
So have you studied anything related to this type of math?
Yes, I was studying engineering. Uh,
Engineering, okay.
engineering, and when I was in math four, I lost math
Oh.
because I didn't what I must do doing at integrate uh, in
Volumes.
volumes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I agree. I'm currently in taking that course. So yeah, I right now we're reviewing differential equations. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
So I agree. Math, university math is more difficult than the math
Yes.
you learn in high school or just elementary
Yeah.
school. What about you, Jorge? Are you listening?
For me, math is more difficult
Mm.
for
Mhm.
uh, uh,
I see. And did you have any struggles with physical education when you were little, or were you good at it? Jorge? Oh, he left. All right. Well, the reason why we're talking about this two things and comparing two things is because we're going to talk about comparatives. So you guys have been comparing two items for like 15 minutes now. I guess you're familiar with the concept. So what are comparatives? We use comparative adjectives to compare two things. That's it.
Yes.
And here is the structure. Raquel, can you help us reading the structure, please?
Sure. Structure noun noun one plus verb to be
Mhm.
plus adjective plus than plus noun two.
Thank you.
Examples.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Irving, can you help us reading the examples, please?
Okay. Example: pizza is more delicious than hamburger.
Mhm.
Selena Gomez is prettier than
Mhm.
Shakira.
Prettier. Mhm.
Prettier.
Yes, prettier. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, the noun one is in green, so it matches. You can see the color in the sentences, and that's basically the way to do it. Let's see. All right. As everything in English, there are rules for this. The first one, let's see. All right. David, can you help us read in the first rule, please?
Okay, the first rule.
Mhm.
One syllable adjective ending in a e.
E. Mhm.
Examples. Cute, while find, you must add are. Examples. Cute, cuter than.
Mhm.
White, whiter than. And fine, finer than.
Great, thank you. All right, so how do you know, how do you count syllables? It's no, there's no science around that. There is a method, it's called the chin method. You put your hand here and you count the amount of time, oh, the amount of times your mouth opens. So for example, cute, you'll see, you'll feel the hand moving just one time, just one time. So that's how you know it's one syllable. That's a
Yes.
very easy method, I think.
Right.
So, so if it's one syllable, what do we do, Irving? To compare it, to make it a comparative.
The other,
No, if we're talking about the same rule that David just read. If it's one syllable, what do we do to make it a comparative?
or
All right. Yes, you add an R. Thank you. Raquel, can you help us read in the second one, please?
One syllable adjective with one vowel and one consonant at the end.
Thank you. Can you read the examples too?
Sure. Light, neat, fast.
Thank you. And what about the comparative? What does it say?
Comparative, add ER. Examples, lighter than, neither, no sé cómo.
Neater than. Yes, that's correct.
Neither than, faster than.
Thank you. All right. Do you guys know what a vowel is?
yes,
Vocal.
Yes, that's
it's a
correct.
vocal.
Las vocales. All right. So those are the same then as in Spanish. So do you know what is a consonant?
Consonant.
Correct. Yes. Thank you. All right. So Jorge, what do we do if there's one syllable adjective with one vowel and one consonant at the end? Jorge? he's gone. All right. Hello, Giovanni. Are you there? All right. Well, that's okay then. Do you have questions with this one, guys? With the second one? Or is it clear?
No, teacher, all clear.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see. Irving, can you help us read the third rule, please?
Okay. One syllable adjective ending consonant plus Y.
Mhm.
Examples, funny, silly, and lonely.
Lonely.
Lonely, sorry,
Mhm.
lonely. I no
Mhm.
is what I
Yes,
said.
you're doing well. You're doing well.
IER.
Correct.
No, no, I is with the other pronunciation. Sorry. Example,
That's okay.
funnier than,
Mhm.
sillier than, lonelier than.
Great. Thank you. Great reading, guys. All right. So, yes, I feel like this one is very easy. Do you guys have any questions before we go to the next one?
No,
No.
teacher.
Okay. Let's continue. All right. David, can you help us with the first one again, please?
Okay, adjectives. Adjectives with two or more syllables.
Mhm.
We use more before the adjectives.
Okay.
Examples: modern, more modern;
Mhm.
interesting, more interesting; and beautiful, more beautiful.
Thank you. You pronounce it like interesting. Like
Interesting. Okay,
delicioso.
sorry.
Mhm. That's okay. That's okay.
Interesting.
So how do you know a word has an adjective has two or more syllables? Let's try with interesting. You put the hand here and then interesting. How many syllables do you
Interesting.
count?
3.
3. Correct. Thank you. Raquel, how many syllables do you count with the word beautiful?
When you spell it, I heard 3.
Oh, how many syllables do you count with the word beautiful? Like if you do the thin method,
3.
beautiful. Yes, great. And modern, Irvin, how many syllables do you count?
2.
Good job. Thank you. All right. Jorge, are you there? Giovanni, are you there? Okay. All right. So Raquel, can you help us read in the second one, please?
One syllable adjective
Mhm.
with the pattern consonant, vowel, consonant.
Mhm.
CVC.
Yes, that's it stands for consonant, vowel, consonant. Mhm.
Examples: hot, big, fat.
Mhm.
Double the last consonant and add ER. Examples: older than, bigger than, father than.
Thank you. All right. So you see, guys, that with the word hot, there is a pattern, consonant, vowel, consonant. The consonant is the letter H. Irving, what's the vowel?
Yes.
O.
Thank you.
Oh,
And what's the next consonant, David?
T.
T. Thank you. And what do you do to make it a comparative adjective, Raquel?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. What do you do to make it a comparative adjective with the word hot?
Older than?
No, you
I
you
don't
double.
understand.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, honey. Okay. So you double the last consonant. Hot ends with a T. So you double the T and then add ER. And then you add then, hotter than. Was that clear?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. All right. And there are some exceptions for
Yes.
irregular adjectives. So, Irving, can you help us with the exception?
Okay, irregular adjectives,
Mhm.
good, bad, far, little, much, and
Mhm.
the irregular adjectives change. For
Mhm.
example, good, better, bad, words, far, farther or further,
Mhm.
little less, and much more.
Great. Thank you. Good job. All right. So, yes, I mean, these are a lot of rules, but they're very easy. You'll see that when you get to practice this. Let's see. All right. So I feel like we've covered this. Before we continue, do you guys have any questions?
Yes, I have one.
Mhm.
In case the word far,
Mhm. Yes,
I can use the both of them. I mean,
correct.
farther and further.
Yes, that's right. You can use farther or further, and it's going to be the same. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Another question, guys?
No, teacher.
All right. Giovanni, Jorge, do you have any questions? All right. If you have any questions in the middle of the class, you can write it in the chat, and yeah, we'll make sure we resolve the question. We'll solve the question, sorry. All right. So let's see. We're going to superlatives. These are basically the same. However, do you guys remember how many nouns we were comparing in the comparatives?
Only two nouns.
Correct. That's right. So for the superlatives, we compare one thing with several others. So it's more than two. All right. Irving, can you help us reading this, please?
Okay, what are they? We use superlative adjectives to compare one thing with several others.
Great. Thank you. All right. So here's the structure. David, can you help us with the structure?
Oh, the structured noun one plus verb plus D plus adjective and plus complement.
Thank you. All right. So here we have a statement that pizza is the most delicious ever. You can do it like this, or you can say, for example, pizza is more delicious than hamburger, but pupusas are the most delicious. All right, so you're comparing three nouns. There is a comparative here, but the superlative is bigger than a comparative. So that one is here, the most delicious. As you can see, the superlative adjective here, which one do you think it is, Raquel? In the second sentence.
Shakira is the prettiest Latina. I have to add a comparative.
No. Which word here in the sentence do you think is the adjective? The superlative adjective.
The prettiest.
Prettiest. Correct. All right. So you can do the same thing. You can either state that she is the prettiest, or you can say Shakira is more beautiful than Selena Gomez, for example. Wait. Selena Gomez. But Sofia Vergara, for example, is the prettiest Latina. You can say that, and it works too. You're comparing three nouns. All right. So there are rules for this too. But David, before we continue, can you give us an example comparing three nouns? Maybe, let's see. You know what? Let's review the rules first, and then we'll look for examples. Okay. Can you help us read in the first one, Dave, please?
Okay. One syllable adjective ending in E. Example, we must add st. Examples, cute, the cutest, wide, the widest, and find, the finest.
Great, thank you. Yes, as you can see, cute. You'll feel your hand going down once, and it ends with an E. So what do you do to make it a superlative, Irving?
EST.
Correct. Thank you. All right. Raquel, can you help us read in the second one, please?
One syllable adjective with one vowel and one consonant at the end. Examples, light, neat, fast.
Mhm.
Add est. Examples, the lightest, the nearest, the fattest,
Fastest. That's okay. That's okay. It's a very difficult word. Fastest. Okay. All right. So yes, as you can see, with one vowel and one consonant at the end. Sorry about the barking. One vowel and one consonant at the end. You'll see that here. And you add est. Okay. So Edwin, can you help us read in the third one, please?
Okay, one syllable adjective ending consonant plus Y. Example, funny, silly, lonely, lonely, sorry.
It's okay.
Add IST, example, the funniest, the silliest, the loneliest.
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 Yes. Thank you. Right. Let's see. Funny, silly, and lonely. So for the word lovely, I'm gonna add it here so that you can see it. Lovely. It ends with a consonant, the letter L, and it ends with a Y. So what do you guys think would be the superlative adjective?
Loveliest.
Loveliest, correct. All right, that was very easy. And that's how you do it for the third rule, at least. Okay. All right, so the first one, Jorge, can you help us reading this one, please? Are you there?
Adjective with two or more syllables. Example, mother, interesting,
Mhm.
beautiful. Use the most before the adjective. Example, the most modern,
Mhm.
the most interesting, the most beautiful.
Thank you. All right. So let's set an example with the adjective intelligent. How many syllables do you count? Intelligent.
4 syllables.
4, Correct. So how would you make it a superlative adjective? You're supposed to add the most.
The most intelligent.
Correct. Yes. Thank you. Easy, right? That's just what you do. You add the most before the adjective. All right. Irving, can you help us with the second one?
Okay, one syllable adjective with the partner consonant, vowel, consonant, CC.
Mhm,
Example, hot, big, fat.
mhm.
Superlative W, the last consonant, and add est. Example, the hostess, the biggest, the fastest, fast,
Fattest.
fastest,
Fattest.
fattest.
And then hottest as well. The hottest. And this one is pronounced like pattern. Pattern. Okay. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
And Giovanni, can you help us read in the last one, please? The exceptions.
Can you hear me, teacher?
Yes, I can hear you.
Irregular adjective. Good, bad, sparse, little, much. Superlative, irregular adjective change. Example, the best, the worst, the fattest, the poorest, the least, the most.
Thank you. All right. So we had, let's see. Oh. Okay. So we had good. What was the comparative for good? Do you guys remember?
Better than.
Better.
Better. Thank you. Okay. Better. And then the best. For bad, do you remember what was the comparative?
Worse.
Worse. Correct. How do you spell it?
WORSE.
Thank you. Okay, and the superlative is the worst. For far, do you remember what was the comparative?
Footer or fatter.
Great, thank you. With little, Raquel, do you remember what was the comparative?
Yes,
For little.
for what leader less.
Less. Great, thank you. And for this one is the least. Up for the one up here is the farther, the furthest. Okay. And with much. Do you guys remember what was the comparative?
More.
More.
Great, thank you. Okay. And the superlative is the most.
The most.
Yes. Please remember this. I mean, the all the rules, but since these are the exceptions, you would have to remember this one. You would have to learn this ones by heart. So, yes. The other ones are easier to analyze, but these ones you would have to memorize them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. Before we continue, do you guys have any questions with the rules?
No, teacher.
Okay. Giovanni, Jorge? Any questions? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for reading for me. All right. And here, what's the difference? David, can you help us with the lecture?
Okay, what's the difference? We use comparative adjectives to compare only two people or things,
Mhm.
and we use superlative adjectives to talk about three or more people or things.
Thank you. Okay. Raquel, can you read the examples, please?
Will Smith is funnier than Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
Uh, between Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, and Sofia Vergara, Shakira is the prettiest.
Thank you. All right. That's good reading, guys. Good job. Thank you. Okay. So here are some adjectives that can work as examples. Let's see. Okay. So Jorge, can you help us reading the comparatives, please?
Okay, let's see example. Look at the following
Mhm.
example of each adjective using both
Both. Mhm.
their superlative and comparative form. Comparative, expensive, more expensive
Mhm.
than no, dangerous, more dangerous than
Mhm. Dangerous.
should, dangerous,
Mhm.
should, cheaper than,
Mhm.
beautiful, more beautiful than, popular, more popular than, fast, faster than,
Mhm.
tall, taller than.
Great. Yes. Thank you. So with the word expensive, expensive, you guys count 3 syllables, right?
Okay,
Yes. All right. So whenever we have 3 syllables, we add more, right?
Okay.
And with dangerous, how many syllables do you guys count?
3.
3.
3. Thank you. Okay. So what do you do to make it a comparative?
And more.
Thank you. All right. And do you guys know what cheap means? Do you know what it means? Cheap?
No.
Barato.
Barato. Yes.
Barato.
All right. And it ends with a consonant. You have a vowel and then a consonant. To make it as a comparative, what do you do?
Add ER.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so for beautiful, how many syllables do you count?
3.
3.
3. Thank you. So what do you do when you have 3 syllables to make it a comparative?
Use more.
Thank you. All right. So popular, how many syllables?
3.
Great. Thank you. You add more, right? Okay. For the word, the adjective, fast, you have a vowel and you have consonants at the end. So to make it a comparative, what do you do?
Add ER.
Great, thank you. And for tall, same thing, vowel and then consonants, you add ER. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Giovanni, are you there? Can you help us read in the superlative side? I think he's having issues with the microphone. Even can you help us reading the second column, the superlative one?
Okay, superlative,
Mhm,
expensive, the most expensive,
mhm,
dangerous, the most dangerous, cheap, the cheapest,
mhm,
beautiful, the most beautiful, popular, the most popular, fast, the fastest,
mhm.
fattest, and tall, the tallest.
Tallest, thank you. And for fastest, the fastest. You were right the first time. Mhm,
The
fastest.
fastest.
Yes. Okay. So expensive, we already know expensive. 3 syllables. To make it a superlative, we add the most. For cheap, we have a vowel and a consonant at the end. What do we do to make it a superlative?
The most.
No, because you only have 1 syllable. Cheap.
Cheap,
You're mhm,
est.
correct. Thank you. All right. With fast, a vowel and a consonant sound. What do you do to make it a superlative?
Est.
Yes, thank you. And what happens if we have the adjective funny? What do you think would be the superlative?
Is funnier.
That's the comparative. Nice try.
The comparative.
No, but we're talking about the superlative. How do you make it a superlative? We have a consonant and we have a Y.
Change the Y for IER.
That's the comparative. But what is the superlative? Let's see.
It's the same root, but change IEST.
Great. Thank you. Funniest. All right. Do you guys think it's clear? Do you want us to review something before
Yes.
we continue? Okay. Any questions?
It's clear like the coffee.
All right. That doesn't sound right, but okay. All right. Let's see. And just a little practice. Nothing too hard. Let's see. For this kid right here, what do you think fits his mood? Is he
Mm,
sad? Do you think he's sad?
yes, so
Sad. Okay. Oh, save this. Okay. He's sad. So we have a vowel, a consonant, and one
vowel.
syllable. What do you think is the comparative?
Sadder.
Sadder. How do you spell that?
SADER.
There's
But
something missing.
add it WDER.
Great. Thank you. You double the consonant. That's correct. Okay. And what would be the superlative?
Saddest.
Saddest. Great. How do you spell that?
SADDEST.
Great. Thank you. All right. Right. So what do you think is the mood for this guy? The adjective.
Funny.
Funny.
Funny. Great. Thank you. What would be the comparative?
Funnier.
How do you spell that?
FUNNIEST.
That's the superlative. We're on the
Yeah,
comparative.
are.
Are. Okay, great. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Okay, and what's the superlative?
Funniest.
Can you spell that one for me too?
Funniest.
Thank you. Okay, good job. For this one, what do you think is the mood? The adjective.
Happy.
Yes, happy. Happy. So what would be the comparative?
Is happier.
Happier. Great. How do you spell that, guys?
H
Mhm,
A P P
mhm.
I E R.
Great. Thank you. And what's the superlative?
Happiest.
Can you spell that too?
H A P P
Mhm.
I E S T.
Great. Thank you. Okay, and what do you think is the adjective for this guy?
Angry.
Angry. Okay. Okay. What would be the comparative?
Angrier.
Okay, can you spell it, please?
Ier.
Yes, good job. Thank you. Okay, and the superlative.
ANGRIEST.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, thank you. Good job, guys. Everything is correct. It sounds to me like you guys are ready to practice tomorrow. So please remember the rules.
Yes.
Yes, and if you haven't taken notes of this, I'm going to send the images to the WhatsApp group so that you have them handy. And that's basically it. That was the class for today. Before we go, do you guys have any questions? Any suggestions or comments?
No.
No, teacher.
Okay,
I want to say something.
go ahead.
I don't have WhatsApp, so
Hmm,
can I send you my email?
sure. Yeah, you can send it in the chat. Okay, I'll copy this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jorge, Giovanni, do you have a question before we go?
No, teacher.
Okay. What about you, Giovanni?
Same teacher.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining, guys. Hope you liked the class or that I was clear enough for you to understand. And you guys are very good in English. Don't give up. You read very good and everything. So there's a reason why you're in this level. So yeah, that was it. I'm going to stop recording.